This is Bogatir, and welcome back to Subnautica. Well, we had a few technical difficulties on this episode. Uh, right now, you might be wondering why you're not hearing any game audio. Well, that is because NVIDIA kindly went ahead and updated their NVIDIA experience, which includes the shadow play that I use for video capture. Unfortunately, in the quest to make everything look snazzier, I can't actually say that anything's more functional. It's just actually more obtuse and harder to use. But anyways, in the path of doing that, they reset all the defaults. And instead of capturing audio through my headset, which is what I usually use, they capture the audio through my webcam, which is actually a completely terrible microphone, which also sits on top of my computer. So it picked up all kinds of background noise from both my fans, any magnetic interference. Basically, it sounds like a squealing chipmunk. So I had to toss that. And unfortunately, that came after about an hour and a half of recording. And before you ask, I actually did a sound check before I got into this, and everything worked out fine. So why it decided to go back to using my microphone for my webcam, I don't know, but it did, and it roasted the audio. So now we're going to go back, and I'm going to have to replay this episode with do the post commentary. So as you can see on the video that's been going on for a little while, I'm actually heading out to find a diamond so we can make a laser cutter. And the best place that I've found to find a diamond pretty quick is to head north and look for the mountain biome. So that's where we're headed. Quick way to find north, or at least the direction of the mountain biome, is to travel in the same direction of the Aurora's line of flight. And eventually, here you go, you wind up at the mountains. Now, the mountains are a little bit dangerous because some very big, very nasty things will spawn in the islands, or around the mountains. So I'm going to be a little bit cautious here, keep looking around, make sure I don't have anything about to crawl up and eat me. And as we come up on this ridge, it pops in a very important little piece of kit, and I just pop up over the ridge here. Again, I'm very nervous about getting something coming after me. So making sure that there's nothing around here, which, again, the mountains are actually pretty clear of everything except for biters. And, oh, Cyclops engine fragment. That is very important because that's the last bit we need for a Cyclops. So we just need to find 2 more of those and we'll be good to go. Now, in the mountains, you're mostly going to find basalt chunks. And basalt chunks are just useless. The only thing they kick out is diamonds or gold, and that's it. And you don't need many diamonds, you don't need much gold. So in both cases, it's not going to do you any good. Now those pink blobs are magnetite. And oh look, Altair is going to back charge us for surviving. Apparently they think everything on this planet belongs to them. So fantastic. Now we're gonna come up, take another peek around, make sure I'm not about to get eaten, and I'm gonna head up. Oh, and these green little crystals right here are uranite crystals, and you can refine those into uranium to power all the little nuclear bits and bobs that you're going to wind up building in the game. So definitely want to pick that up for later. All right. Take another look around here, and that's pretty much everything we're going to want to get from the mountain biome. Another bit of salt, that's it. Alright, so I had that little bit of bad driving right there because I wanted to show you guys something I think I'd only previously just talked about. So ran into that cropping at full speed, did some damage, but now I get out of my sea moth and I whip out my welder and get close, and see that weld prompt? I can actually repair the damage to my sea moth with my welder. So there you go. Topped it back off, 100%. Alright, so now that we actually have all the materials that we need, let's build ourselves a laser cutter so that we can head off towards the Aurora. But before I go, I actually want to go upstairs and make a aquarium. Because while I was off messing around with the islands, I caught a couple of Reginalds. And Reginalds, those little crescent moon looking suckers, are the best fish you can have in the game. So when you cure them, they have 44 food value. When I get an alien containment, which is sort of the big aquarium, they can actually spawn in there, so they'll provide me with a constant source of them. But until then, I just build an aquarium so that I can hold 2 of them in there, and they're safe, and I don't have to go hunt them down later on. So I'll throw some other fish in there, but for now, got them in there for safekeeping. Okay, so let's actually get down to heading to the Aurora. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to dump off my O2 tank and my Sea Glide because I just don't need it. I'm going to take my knife, a beacon, a little bit of water, a little bit of food, my welder, my cutter, and that is about it. Oh yeah, and the light stick, because I kind of want to see if I can do something with that, which I will of course forget to do. So that's what we're going to be taking to the Aurora. Alright, so we're going to hop out here and get in our sea moth, and we're going to make sure we're going in the right direction. Now you can use that vertical ascent, hitting the space bar, to pop the sea moth out of the water to take a quick look at where you're going. Actually kind of a helpful little trick right there. But aside from that, we're going to head off and get towards the bow of the Aurora. So we're heading out into the deeper water here, getting close to the Aurora. And this is known as the crash zone, and as you can see, it's pretty sparse. The impact of that ship apparently pretty much flattened everything that was out here. So it's a lot of debris, and you see some of those chests or lockers down there. Well, sand shark, because of course they're going to be out here. But you get some debris that you can pick up, but right now we're not really after titanium, so we're going to scoot here along the Aurora's hull. There used to be an entrance that would take you right to the engine room, but that's been taken out. So we're heading up here towards the front of the ship, and let's see here. I'm hearing something, so checking to make sure I'm not going to get eaten by somebody. And right there in the distance, that long snaky looking body, that is a Reaper, the big bad of at least the mid to late game, and thankfully he's swimming in the other direction. So right now we're going to get into the bow and get away from him. So I come up here towards this wreckage, and let's take a look up here at the surface. Yep, this is one of the kind of access areas, but I start off by going to the wrong one, and we'll see this again later, but just trying to find a good spot to park the sea moth and hop out, dump off my beacon, and then get on inside to do a little exploring. Alright, so we're going to climb up this little deck here, and these guys are all over the place, at least here on the exterior of the Aurora, and you want to be kind of careful because they are aggressive, but they're also pretty inept. If they do hit you, they only do about 5% damage, and they die to 2 or 3 swipes with the survival knife. So I'm just going to make a fool of myself here trying to kill them. Honestly, ignore them. Oh, there was a battery in that chest, but for the most part, you're just going to take more damage trying to kill them than you were going to save yourself by just running past them. So what I come to is the wrong entrance. This is the new entrance of the Aurora, and it's clogged with debris that we can't get out of the way right now. So what I'm going to have to do is get back in the water and go around to the proper entrance once I'm done playing with the crabs there. Alright, so beacon retrieved and reset, sea moth moved. Let's head up this ramp. One thing, don't try to beat your sea moth on this little artificial ramp. It's a good way to get your sea moth stuck. Now these chests actually contain quite a bit of good stuff in here. As you can see, just grabbed a full-on power cell, so that's good. Really, just don't play with the crabs. You're best off just trying to hustle past them. There are med kits in both these chests and further in the Aurora, so just, go past them. Combat, at least on the surface in Subnautica, is so wonky. I'd rather not get involved in it. The game does a really good job when you're out on the underwater. It's a great game when it's underwater, but once you get up on the surface, it's just, well, you can see how it is. So there's plenty of stuff in these crates. Water galore, batteries, power cells. You're actually going to be pretty set for batteries for a long time. And that's even if you don't have the charging station. With the charging station, you've just got a lifetime supply of batteries from this place. Now, there is some things falling from above, just some molten slag. that's going to hit you, and I don't really know of any good way to avoid it. So take the health pack, heal up, and keep on moving. Got a ton of water, and so going to drink a little bit. And here we go. Got to tread on this little beam that arcs out over the water here. And yeah, down there is the beacon and the sea moth. Now, thankfully, there's nobody you can get into a fight with on this little spot because it's very precarious. Alright, there's some more water. And yeah, there's some more crab guys. And take another hit from above. So, yep, crab comes in and hits me. Only does 4% damage. I mean, they're really kind of not worth worrying about. Now, this container has a power cell, so the way that these containers sit is not perfectly level, so you can sometimes have a little bit of a tricky experience getting a hold of the container and getting what's inside it. So I need to be able to stand there and pick it up. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fight this crab to the death. Oh, here we go. Extinguisher, always a good thing, and a health pack. It's like the game knew I was trying to fight these crabs and just utterly failing at it. Of course, the crabs themselves are pretty crap at this as well, so this is just, oh, there you go, he's dead. So this cavalcade of failure can come to an end. Hopefully I can kill this other guy pretty quick. He's just surfing all over the place. Yep. And come on, let me grab it. Crab's back. And he's dead. Okay. So let's see. There we go. So we got the power cell. Finally, the crabs are dead. Finally, my dignity is utterly destroyed. So let's go on into the Aurora. Now, something I can tell you, save the game. Yeah, save it, because right here, I crashed. And get used to it, because I'm going to crash quite a bit while I'm in. Alright, so miracle of miracles, I actually managed to save somehow and didn't really lose any progress. I've got the fire extinguisher, got all the kit, so awesome. Again, this is an early access game. It's not perfect, and, well, I know it sounds like I'm making excuses because I am, but just save as often as you can. Now I'm going to try to squeak by the fire, not using the extinguisher. I'm trying to avoid using the extinguisher as much as possible because there's some pretty hairy areas in here. And yep, there we go. Save, because this is an area where I've crashed more than a few times. Ooh, a propulsion cannon fragment. This is actually what I need to get into that lower entrance. And grab ourselves a PDA. So down there leads into the cargo bay. And yeah, it's not anything useful yet. It's mostly just backstory, a little bit of information to set the scene a little bit for the game. But what we do have over here is the administration office. So got the scanner out, just to be on the safe side in case something comes up. But to get into the admin office, we need the fire extinguisher. So we got it. Here we go. Try to put it out. Now, when you're putting the fires out, try to make sure that you get them all the way so there's not even a red glow, because if that red glow sits there, it's going to come back. Now, I already found this trash can at one of the little mini wrecks near the life pod. There's all kinds of little things in the Aurora that I wish we could take. Some of these files, some of this other stuff. Now, here we go. Grab a battery. Got a data download from that console. And coming over here, there's a PDA and some chairs that I can't scan, which is kind of annoying to me because I like those better than the ones I've got. And on the wall, hey, prawn suit. And guess what? That's a poster you can take with you. So now we're going to leave the admin building, or admin office, and head on down towards the cargo bay. Alright, so we're making our way towards the cargo bay. And again, I can't advise you enough, save plenty of times while you're in the Aurora. Now here's where we really kind of need the propulsion cannon, and this has changed. Used to be this was wide open, but now they've added this debris in here, so we're going to have a little creative jumping to get over to where we need to go. Alright, so what you want to do is back up the hallway and then run towards this box using your sprint key, which is usually your left shift. I completely forget about it because I don't have to jump that much or sprint that much, and then angle over towards that debris and jump, and there you go. Now technically you're supposed to have the propulsion cannon, but yeah, you can make it with just jumping. So now we're over, and that actually represented about close to 20 minutes of failing the jump, uh, game crashing and reloading, and just general pain. All right, so here we are going towards the first locked door that you're going to find in the game. Now, something we found on the data bank were codes. Life essentials. There you go, right there. Cargo bay code. All right, 1454. So get out of my PDA, and you just click on it on the screen. So 1454, and voila, the door opens, and we are into the cargo bay, which is on fire. All right. So there are lots of these crates around the cargo bay, both those big kind of just static object ones and the ones that have loot in them. So there's definitely stuff you want to poke around in all the nooks and crannies, and I wish I could have that forklift. Oh, Cyclops engine fragment. Okay, easy. 2 Cyclops engine fragments now. Now we just need 1 more, and we'll be ready to make the Cyclops in its entirety at that point. So we're just going to poke around these crates a little bit more, see what we can find. And what we find actually turns out to be the 3rd Cyclops engine fragment. These, I didn't even know these were in here, but apparently they've moved them into the Aurora, so that actually will do it. So we now have everything we need to be able to build the Cyclops, which is the large mobile base style submarine. So that is pretty awesome. Alright, so let's just go ahead and get out of the cargo bay, and yeah, things are still falling on fire and doing some damage. So now, got this big elevator that heads down. So we're just going to follow this, and yeah, there's no controls or anything to raise or lower it. There's just some water down there, and right now I don't see anything, but that doesn't mean there's not something down there. So we're going to hop over here on the side and get the knife out, and oh, yep, there we go, bleeders. So we're going to have to get that guy and get him dead. So let's see if we can spot anything else. Yeah, there's another one. Okay, and oh, missed him. And come on, there we go, he's dead. Okay, so let's take a look around here, see if we can find anything useful. Oh, nutrient block. Now that is, yeah, that's just like, oh, dang it, another bleeder. Where'd he go? Come on, you're in here. I know you are. Where'd he go? Hate those little things. Alright, so that nutrient block, there he is. Oh, nope. Shoot, where'd he go? Alright, so that nutrient block is just like the kind that you found in the life pod, which means big food, very useful. Very, very useful. Alright, there we go. Let's weld this door up so we can get into it. Now, those nutrient blocks, I do believe, will respawn, which means you can come back to the Aurora and pick up some extras. Oh, hello. So now this is the new Seamoth Bay on the Aurora. So if somehow you've managed to make it to the Aurora without getting your Seamoth made, you can pick up some fragments in here, which I'm not going to do because I don't need titanium. So poke around a little bit. And yeah, there's, I think, probably about 18 inches of water, and somehow I'm having to swim rather than just walk. Oh, pressure compensator. That is an upgrade to your Seamoth that will let it dive deeper. So you definitely want to pick up that pressure compensator. You can build it later in your as an upgrade bench, but you want to use the free one here. Just, that much less materials. So now, yeah, there's literally, what, 12 inches of water in this hallway? So that is towards the drive room, and I don't want to go there quite yet. I would actually rather go take a look at the rest of the ship, and then we'll come back and we'll fix the drive room later. So that way is to the prom bay and the locker room. Oh, there he is. Somebody got over here, so kill that guy. And you know what? Let's go fix this thing, because the radiation that is being put out by the engines, it kind of contaminates about 1/3 of the map, so you really want to get it taken care of. So it contaminates about 1/3 of the map, and if you fix the drive core, this room in here, the radiation will clear itself up in about 3 days. Oh, extra fire extinguisher. So you definitely want to come in here and fix it so that you can get rid of the radiation suit. And that is what we're looking for. These breaks, ruptures, whatever you want to call them, you just walk up to them and seal them. And holy cow. Okay, I think that used to be not quite that many. So 11 ruptures you got to fix. And there's a Cyclops power efficiency module, which is just a freebie upgrade module for your Cyclops. So we're going to go in here and we're going to start fixing up all these ruptures and get this thing back ship shape. So here we have some of the spots you got to weld are underwater. So just be aware of that. There's a lot of them. Oh, shoot. Yep. Bleeders. There's bleeders in the water down here. So just keep your eye open there. Yeah, make sure he's dead. And there's also a data terminal, so don't miss that while you're down here poking around. And yep, there are a lot of these things to fix. But once you find the last one hidden around the corner out of sight, you will find that drive core breach is sealed and the radiation levels start to decrease. Now it's going to take a little while for the decrease to fully take effect, but once it's done, you're no longer going to need your radiation suit. So we just head back and we're going to cut open that door to the prawn bay in the locker room. And we're going to get started and we're going to cut because it takes a long time to get all the way through this door. But once you do, you go up and you get a quick breath of oxygen. Alright, and we pop over here into the locker room. And I do love the way that they've done these. It's very atmospheric to be in this sunken ship or half submerged ship. Another PDA. And bench. I already found that in another wreck. But you've just got kind of all these papers floating around. You've got the stuff sitting in the lockers. You've got these PDAs that actually cast a very nice glow around. It's, it's just a, you feel like you're in something that's sunk, which is one of the reasons why I like exploring wrecks so much in this game. And I just hope they keep adding more because to me, it's one of the most enjoyable things to do. Extra battery. Like I said, you are not going to run out of batteries anytime soon after you visit the Aurora. So this locker room is pretty much tapped out. Yeah, that door right there. When you don't see any lights on it in any way, no locked or any kind of symbols on the door, that just means it's a dead end. It's not going anywhere. Alright, so the locker room cleaned out. We're going to head on up to the prawn bay. Alright, so after a quick weld job, we get that set up and the door's unlocked, and welcome to the prawn bay. And the prawn is that exosuit that you can wear to tromp around on the bottom of the ocean that gives us update its name. Alright, grab a quick power cell, and we're going to go over here and see if we can't get our hands on the schematic or the fragments for the exosuit or the prawn. Alright, there we go. And come on. And oh, 1 of 4. Okay, well, good news. There's a lot of chunks of prawn around here to scan. And we get our last one from one that's hanging from the ceiling. So awesome, now we can build ourselves a prawn. Alright, after a little clambering over some debris, we get up here to the crew quarters. And the first place we come to is this storeroom and a bar, but the bar's on fire, so we're going to go for the easy place first. There's another nutrient block. Now those little cube shapes are what the game uses when there's no, it's a placeholder model. When there's no other model in the game, it'll put that cube in for whatever it is. So get a bunch of water. It's the little small purified ones, or the filtered ones. Sorry, not the better stuff. It's just a little filtered water. But got a bunch of those and a bunch of nutrient blocks. So that's good stuff. Now we'll head over here to the bar. And unfortunately, most of this stuff I've already found another wreck, so it's not going to do me much good. So, yeah, that bar table right there and that vending machine, I've both already got them. And it's really kind of a shame that you can't pick up some of this other debris, because I'd love to be able to pick up some of these bottles to take back to just use as decorations around my own base. But this is not a total loss, because I do get this little shelf here, which is really just going to be a doodad you can build around your base. Alright, so in here we've got another PDA, and another fire extinguisher, and another poster. Keep calm, sure, while the room is on fire. Alright, but that looks like that is about it for the bar. Alright, so we're going to head farther back in here, and we're going to actually start going through the process of looting all these rooms. You got various things to scan, like these beds. You've got posters on the wall, you've got batteries, just all kinds of stuff you can pick up in these rooms. So make sure that you go through and loot them pretty heavily, because a lot of this stuff is going to be useful for later on. Oh yeah, there's also a few of those bags that don't really do anything, but just kind of look cool. Alright, so in that first hallway, we actually come to a locked door. So we're going to take a look here and see if we can't find a way into it. And yep, right down there at the bottom, 1869, a door code. So let's give it a shot. 1869. Yeah, there we go. Open the door up. And this room has a PDA as well as a big bed. So this is definitely one of the rooms that I like to hit up. And scanning, scanning, scanning. Alright, so we got the big bed. Grab the PDA. Yeah, this is one of the more amusing PDAs, and I've really got to get to one of those PDA reading episodes. Oh, there we go. There's a kind of a little toy that you can set out in your base. Doesn't do anything, but it's kind of fun to look at. Full inventory, and let's take a look quick. I use the health kit pack and grab another one. A little bit more water, and turn around. There you go, wall shelves. One more thing to add to the list. Alright, now there's one more locked room in the crew quarters, but right now the code to get into that room is not in the game. So when you get to it, don't waste a lot of time on it, because there's no way into it right now. Alright, so with everything completely looted, we're heading back into the prawn bay, and geez, everything is still on fire. How long have we been? 55 days. It has been 52 days since the Aurora went nuclear, and everything's still burning. Alright. Anyways, we're back here in the prawn bay because we are going to go down and access the last little bit of the Aurora that we can get to for now. So go down underneath the water, and now we have to kind of poke around down here because it's kind of a mess. It's easy to get turned around. Yeah, that's not it. Alright, go back the other direction. And sometimes it gets hard to tell what's a sprite and what you can swim through. So, trying to get through here. And let's see. Actually, yep, here we go. Alright, so now you swim down this corridor like deal, and you pop up here in the Aurora's science section. So, that is debris. And this is a very large room that I really wish I knew what it was about, but I don't. So we're going to come in here and we're going to head down and we're going to see what we can find. And first off, a data terminal with life pod tracking data. And we've already gotten quite a few life pod signals, so we'll see what extra it's got to offer. And we come down here and there is a battery and a sealed door. So let's start cutting that sucker open. And 10 minutes later, one crash and a lot of backtracking later, we actually will get this door cut open. Early access, isn't it wonderful? Really, this game is fantastic, but it's definitely still got some bugs. Still needs to get some things hammered out. So we get through that door and we go up to grab some air because I left my other oxygen tank home. And we'll swim around here in this corner and grab ourselves the lab access PDA. Give us those codes so that we can get into the lab. Open this door up, and nice little trimmer making it hard to hit the buttons right. There we go. And the door pops open. And this is one of the science labs, and make sure I save. Now, unfortunately, you can see the inventory full is popping up, and that's because you can grab this stuff. And quite a bit of the things in here you can take with you and use it again as base decorations. Now right now we're completely full up on everything else, so there's nothing really we can do, unfortunately. I'm probably going to go back and grab a lot of that stuff in between episodes at some point. But I want to show you right in here, there's the other entrance into the lab. So come around on this back side, it's already been unlocked. And again, we're just on the other end of that room. So we're going to grab this data terminal, and the blueprints have been updated. I'm still not 100% certain what blueprints it updated and what it didn't. But, okay, you know what? Updated blueprints, fantastic. So that is pretty much everything there is to see here in the lab. It's not a real big expansive area, but it's got some cool little knickknacks you can pick up for your base. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to show you that back entrance. Do you remember when we first got to the Aurora and I went to the wrong door? This is actually where that door comes in. That door will bring you right into the lab access area. So we're going to put out this fire real quick. And hopefully I completely put it out, because the last few times I've been here, I didn't ever completely put it out and it was constantly coming back. So, okay, fire's out. And here we go. See this debris up here? Yep, that debris. Alright, pop a little water. Got a signal. Okay. And here is that debris. You can actually see the water out there. If I had the cannon, I could just blow this stuff out of the way and be right back out into the water. But I don't have it with me, so I'm going to be stuck hoofing it back outside. So here we are, back out to the top of the Aurora after climbing all the way out of it. And I'm going to sprint to see if we can't hurry up and get out of here. Alright. Now we're going to come up to this black piece where we're walking originally, and if you take a look down, nothing but water. So, whew, it took out probably the front third of that ship. So, down there's the sea moth, and then, you know what? Instead of walking all the way down there and dealing with those crabs, take a dive. And belly flop. That had to kill. Alright, so go back, hop in the sea moth, and let's get out of here. Alright, and we're going to head home. Now, if you're kind of a bit of a sci-fi geek, I think the Aurora here is actually about the same size as a Victory Star Destroyer, but a little bit thicker. So it's a big ship, and it got blown to pieces. Alright, so here we are, back home, home sweet home. And I'm going to park the sea moth and hop out. And I actually want to show you how you put that pressure compensator in. This little panel on the side of the sea moth will open up, and you can just grab the compensator, and don't right click like I did, because you'll drop it. Instead, go in there and left click to install the pressure compensator. So there we go. Now we have a 300-meter crush depth. So that right there is going to be the episode, guys. We managed to make it all the way to the Aurora to fully explore it and not get ourselves killed in the process. So next time, we're going to do some more wreck diving. We're going to take a look at some more environments and see if we can't find the last pieces of our base. This is Bogatir playing Subnautica. I'll see you guys next time.